All right, so we're diving into something pretty wild today.
Yeah, this one's really captured my imagination, too.
The SILURIan Hypothesis.
You know that idea that maybe
We say,
we weren't the first industrial civilization on Earth?
right, that there could have been.
Like a whole other advanced civilization before us.
And we've got some really fascinating sources to dig into this with.
Yeah, we do.
One lays it out really simply,
Gives us the basics.
and then we can go deeper.
With these articles from The Atlantic and the International Journal of Astrobiology,
So it's like,
layered approach.
yeah, exactly. We'll sort of peel back the layers.
Exactly.
So I guess the best place to start is with the Paleocene, Eocene thermal maximum.
The what?
Yeah, the PTM for short.
Ah, right. PTM.
So 56 million years ago.
This huge temperature spike.
Yeah, a massive one.
Global average temperature.
Something like 15 degrees Celsius higher than today.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
palm trees.
at the poles.
Mind-boggling.
And all of our sources point to the same thing.
A massive release of carbon
Into the atmosphere.
as the likely culprit.
Which sounds familiar,
Yeah, a bit too familiar.
like what we're doing now.
Right.
But there's a key difference here.
A big one.
Yeah, what is it?
The time scale.
Uh,
So that ancient carbon release,
back then?
back in the PTM,
Okay.
happened over hundreds of thousands of years.
Oh, wow.
But our current emissions spike,
Yeah.
that's happening so fast.
Like in the blink of an eye, geologically speaking.
Centuries, which is
It's instantaneous.
practically instantaneous in geological terms.
So, I mean, what if...
This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, this is where the SILURIan hypothesis comes in.
What if that ancient carbon spike wasn't just some natural phenomenon?
Right.
What if it was the fingerprint?
Like the telltale sign.
Exactly, of an earlier industrial civilization.
Wow.
One that rose and fell long before humans.
Before us.
Long before us. I mean, it's just...
A wild thought, right? Yeah, like out of science fiction.
Actually, you know where it came from?
Where?
Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah, inspired by a fictional race of reptilian humanoids.
Oh, wow.
But even though it comes from fiction, it raises some really serious questions.
Right, like
Like, what kind of evidence?
after millions of years.
Yeah, what would we even be looking for?
Well, according to our sources,
Public questions.
traces of things like
You know, things that leave a mark.
fossil fuels,
Yeah, for sure.
plastics,
Of course.
even disruptions to the nitrogen cycle from agriculture.
All those things leave traces.
Yeah,
It'd be tough.
like trying to find a needle in a haystack, right?
Yeah, it's like being a geological detective.
Trying to piece together a story
Yeah, from the faintest of clues.
buried for millions of years.
Millions of years.
I mean, think about it.
what would be left?
Some remnants of pollution, maybe?
Maybe.
Or bits of their technology.
Possibly.
What if they had a nuclear war?
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
Could we find traces of radioactive isotopes from that?
That's a really good point.
It's so much time.
Most fossils we find.
Thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years old?
Yeah, and a civilization. Even one lasting 100,000 years.
Which is way longer than we've been industrial.
Right, would be a blip.
On the geological timescale.
A tiny blip.
So their cities,
Thus,
their materials.
unrecognizable.
It's really making me think about deep time in a whole new way.
Yeah, it really puts things into perspective.
And how much we don't know.
Exactly.
And what could be hidden right under our noses.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely makes you think.
The Silurian hypothesis, it's more about the questions it raises.
Then any definitive answers.
Yeah, that's what I find so compelling.
Me too.
It pushes us to look deeper
To rethink what we know
and to imagine what might be out there.
and what might have been.
Exactly. Makes you wonder what they were like.
If they were even out there.
Right, but even if they weren't,
Even as just a thought experiment.
it really changes how we see things,
Like what?
our own impact on the planet.
I was just thinking about that.
One of the sources, the piece from The Atlantic, makes a good point about this
I got
whole
tired.
search.
For another civilization.
Your Silurian civilization
Yeah,
can change how we view,
like a mirror.
yeah, kind of
We're looking for signs
a civilization
that messed up their environment
that might have altered their planet.
in a huge way.
And then it makes you think,
About us.
exact.
It's about what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
What if the PTM,
What if?
or some other weird thing in Earth's history,
some unexplained event.
wasn't just nature,
Right.
but the echo
The lasting impact?
of a civilization that pushed things too far?
It's possible?
It's kind of terrifying.
Makes you think.
And you said earlier, even a civilization lasting 100,000 years
Yeah.
would be a blip.
Geologically speaking?
Right, on that time scale.
A short chapter.
It really makes you think about the long view.
Imagine someone millions of years from now
future archaeologists.
More like future geologists.
Right. Yeah.
Looking back at us.
What would they find?
Would they even know we were here?
I mean, would they see our cities?
Our concrete jungles?
Yeah, or our
Or
technology?
your smartphones?
Would any of that be left?
It's hard to say.
Maybe just a layer of weird chemicals.
Some strange isotopes.
The remnants of our pollution.
It's fascinating to think about.
It really highlights how much we don't know.
And how much we could be missing.
Limited by what we can detect.
Exactly.
I'm starting to get why the Silurian hypothesis is so important.
Even if it's never proven.
Right. Like, even if we never find a smoking gun,
It's about the search itself.
it pushes us
To keep looking.
to get better at what we do
To develop new tools.
and to be open to the possibility
That we might be wrong.
that there might be more out there,
That we haven't found yet.
or that we can't even see,
It's humbling.
and exciting.
Yeah.
The Silurian hypothesis may just be a hypothesis,
For now.
but just investigating it.
To lead to new discoveries.
New ways of seeing things.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There could be so much more out there,
Just waiting to be discovered.
right under our noses.
Even on our own planet.
It's an amazing thought.
It's really making me think about the Anthropocene.
Yeah, how could it not?
You know that term for
Right, like the
current age?
age of humans.
Where we're the dominant force on the planet.
Yeah, where our impact is.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
And if a Silurian civilization could leave a mark,
A detectable mark.
then wow, think about us.
Our impact's got to be even bigger.
Our cities, our industries.
Our fossil fuels.
Yeah, it's kind of
Covering.
to think about.
It is.
But you know what's really interesting?
What's that?
The International Journal of Astrobiology article.
Oh, yeah, what did it say?
Well, it suggests
Okay.
that the Silurian hypothesis
Could actually
help us.
help us look for aliens.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, like extraterrestrial life.
That's a cool connection.
It's like,
I wouldn't have thought of that.
me neither at first.
So how does that work?
Well, the thinking is,
Okay.
if we can figure out,
Like what to look for.
yeah, what signs
Okay.
of an ancient civilization,
On Earth.
yeah, on Earth,
Right.
then we can use that,
To look elsewhere.
exactly, to study exoplanets,
Those planets around other stars. So
Right.
we'd be looking for.
technosignatures,
Yeah.
like those subtle hints of technology,
In the rocks, the atmosphere.
instead of just basic life,
Like microbes
Yeah.
we'd be searching for.
evidence of advanced civilizations
Out there in the universe.
that might have altered their planets,
left there my
which we could detect.
across vast distances.
I mean,
it's incredible.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is.
And it all comes back to
Is one question.
the Silurian hypothesis.
That what if?
What if we weren't the first?
It makes you rethink everything.
Where we fit in.
Our place in time and space.
Yeah, and even if we never find,
Definitive proof.
yeah, a Silurian smoking gun,
The search itself is still valuable.
it pushes us to be better,
Better scientists.
to understand our planet,
Its history.
and to really think about
The consequences
the long-term consequences.
of our own actions.
So whether or not
There were palm trees
swaying over a Silurian city,
millions of years ago.
the questions raised by this hypothesis,
Yeah,
they're going to stay with us.
I think so too.
They make us look at our place in it
And the vastness of time.
in a whole new way
It's a story.
that's still being written.
And who knows?
What other chapters
How to be out there.
waiting to be discovered?